Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 9:15. News and views on Salam Media. And of course, we also welcome to the program this morning our Polokwane listeners on One Nation FM. Still to come on the show, we'll be talking with Brother Inayat Wadi about the arrival of Dr. Mads Gilbert. He has just landed at OR Tambo, and Inayat will talk to us about the rest of his press tour here in South Africa. And of course, he is a guest of Salam Media and a few of our other partners. Ali Bamji, lead designer at Idle Mind, is going to talk to us about joining the revolution regarding stickers for Palestine. But first up, we are going to be talking with Councillor Moulana Mohamed Tariq. He is the president of the People's Freedom Party. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Julie Ali, and to the listeners of Salam Media.
Okay, I see that the People's Freedom Party have taken a very strong stance regarding the situation. You express very deep concern over the reported use of state violence against peaceful Palestinian solidarity protesters by the city of Cape Town, and very especially DA-led demonstration. So, talk to us about it and this media statement that has gone out.
Okay, gee. I think currently everyone throughout the country are actually up in arms as to remember one is we're trying to deal with the matter of the Palestinians, what they're going through, and obviously it's a one-sided war. And then you got throughout the country, you would find, or throughout the world, people are protesting, they are praying, they're trying to see how they can help the people of Palestine from wherever they are miles away. And here comes in our country, which is a democratic country, and where you would find in the city of Cape Town that where the people peacefully went to protest in the support of the people of Palestine, and then we find the reaction of the South African police, and obviously it is the DA Democratic Alliance-led administration and municipality. So, as the president of the People's Freedom Party, we wrote directly to the minister Becky Cllr, asking him that yes, we want a thorough investigation as to why did the police react in manner and what was the reason for this, and a thorough investigation for us to know, because it was actually sad. I've been speaking to people on the ground who told me that they, just by viewing or looking at this video, tears had come into their eyes to see the manner and in which this was dealt. And these are peaceful people, obviously, that are protesting in the support of the people of Palestine. And it brings a lot of concern to us, especially in the Cape Town area and other surrounding areas, as to what generally, if you see police, we want to be safe. Generally, if we see police, we want to feel protected with this. But in this manner, you would find it was not there. And then we're saying, yes, we're asking the Minister of Police that to give us answers for this as to why this has transpired and what was the reason and why these things led to this. Because one, we have the people of Palestine that are actually suffering. One, that we are neither the Cape Town municipality is helping us to the people of the Palestine, but here you have taken humble people that are protesting, humble people who are prepared to give their lives for the people of Palestine. And here would find that the South African police obviously has reacted in this manner, and which is obviously sad in the whole situation to see this. And then obviously we suspect that the disproportionate use of force against the pro-Palestine supporters merely a day after the peaceful demonstration, and Cape Town had more than 250,000 supporters of Cape Town. I think in the whole country, one of the most massive support that came out in the country was in Cape Town. And I'm not sure whether people are feeling threatened about this year, or rather whether the Democratic Alliance is feeling threatened about the support of the Muslims at large that have come out in the Cape Town area.
Okay, and as you've indicated, the day before this situation arose at Sea Point Promenade, there were upwards of 250,000 people that had a very, very peaceful march in the Western Cape. I spoke with someone yesterday. She's based in the Western Cape as well, and she was really very, very angry about the situation, very vociferous. And her take on the situation is they have a huge problem of gangsterism in Cape Town. And she's saying whenever these issues playing out, the police are never available. They're too scared to go into the gangster ridden areas. But here at a peaceful protest march, they were out in their very huge numbers. And she believed it was at the behest of obviously the DA, and saying that they're not deployed to where they are needed, but they are obviously um, you know playing up to the tune of the DA in the Western Cape. And the fact that they manhandled a few of the peaceful Palestinian protesters speaks volumes, does it not?
I think I totally agree with that sentiment because I know Cape Town, especially the certain areas, are actually uh, they are the gangsterism, and there's so much of things that are happening there where you would find police should be there in their numbers. And if you look at the current situation of the videos that are going around, and me coming from a background working with the South African police services, you would see that police came out in preparation. They came out in preparation. You can see the Caspers with the water cannons. You would see all the shields that they've came up. So the crowd unit and the public disturbance unit was out there in their numbers to actually retaliate to some people who are God-fearing people, people that are praying people, people that are humble people. You came. Why don't you go in those areas of where gangsterism, that where the safety of people's lives are there? And this was a peaceful protest, and you acted. And that is why, as the People's Freedom Party, we are formally requesting a comprehensive investigation into the handling of the situation at Sea Point Promenade. We believe that a transparent inquiry led by the Office of the Minister Becky Cllr would shed light on the circumstances surrounding the alleged state violence through SAPS and a democratic DA run municipality. So yes, this is what we're saying. We need thorough investigations with this because these are humble people. These were people that came out crying to say, listen, what is going on in Palestine? Innocent children are being killed. Hospitals are being bombed while they're being treated. And here comes in our country, we have this here. This has caused a lot of, and actually, I always say this here, the issue about Palestine. I don't think it's an Islamic matter. It's a matter of humanitarian. It's a matter of us understanding as human beings that yes, we cannot be killing people like this. And here we come, people that come out in support, people dressed up in religious gear, people that are praying and saying that, hey, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, free Palestine, and screaming out the slogans. Even you would find on those videos, there are women that actually, we write here 16 days of activism, say no to women and child abuse. And I mean, what are we doing as municipalities there, and what are we doing as people in blue who we need to feel safe about this? It's actually a sad issue. It's a sad moment, and I hope the people of South Africa are paying attention and seeing yes what is happening in the media, what is happening currently in South Africa. It's really a sad issue, and that is why we're calling upon the Minister of Police, who is the best person currently to ask yes what has happened in this, what transpired in this. We want answers and we want reports to this.
I just want to highlight something. My first interview this morning was at just shortly after 8 o'clock, and I spoke to the Dean of St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town, Reverend Michael Weeder. And he has been receiving a lot of hate mail. He's been trolled on social media, and people are lashing out against him because he has taken the stance that the genocide must end in Palestine. And he too pointed out this is not a Muslim Jewish issue. It's a humanitarian issue. And I think it suits the Western world to bring in the narrative of Islamophobia here, to stoke up anti-Islamic sentiments amongst the people, because we do know that that narrative is very strong in the Western world. So he, and I, it's really refreshing to hear a non-Muslim voice speaking up for the rights of the Palestinian people and speaking up against the genocide. I just wanted to add that to this conversation so that people understand that this definitely is not a Muslim, a purely Muslim situation. There are Christians, there, I think 2.5 million Christian Palestinians that live in Palestine, and they too are the targets of this genocide. And yet the Christian world is fast asleep on this matter. It doesn't seem to bother them. I think they assuming that this is a purely Muslim Zionist situation. That's the one issue. And then back to the press statement that the People's Freedom Party has issued regarding a thorough investigation to be undertaken regarding this peaceful march on the Cape Promenade, the Sea Point Promenade. Are you confident that the Minister of Police will actually, um, start the investigation? Will it be fair? Will it be open? Will it be transparent? And you do believe that if it is found that the DA had interfered and they'd pulled strings to get the police there in the very, big contingent, what next? So I'm asking about the confidence that this investigation will happen, and if it is found that it was, in favor of the DA and all of their cronies, where to from here with a situation like that?
I think the first step is we started by issuing a letter to the Minister of Police, writing to him. We will wait for a response from the Minister of Police. If we don't get a response from the Minister of Police, which I'm confident we would get a response, because we need an explanation as to an investigation thoroughly to find out what is happening, and through an investigation, it's imperative to ensure justice and accountability regarding this year. We need to find out, yes, what is the accountability of this and what has transpired with this year. This is what we want to know. Secondly, we're ready to go and approach the courts and yes, say that yes, we're going to let us not compel people to give us answers, and we'll take it to make sure that we get answers, and we'll go as far as going to approach the courts and etc. and go to this to say yes, we need answers for this. All we're asking is for an investigation as to what has happened. Why did the police, who gave the instruction for the police or the South African police to behave in this matter? Who has given these type of instructions for this to happen? Yes, and we're saying it is time that now we stand up for our rights, and yes, we want to be a voice and say yes, we cannot allow things. Yes, then we would ask a question: the very same manpower that you had, the very same forces that you had, the very same equipment that you had, why it's not put in those areas where crime are high and independent crime fighters are going and losing their lives in those areas when you couldn't deploy that? We need answers for this, and we are making sure that yes, that we're going to be on the top of this year to make sure that we get an answer. And if it makes us take a legal route to this, yes, we're going to take the legal route for us to understand yes, what has transpired in that area. So as the People's Freedom Party, we're saying this: we deeply condemn such action, and we believe that through investigation it's going to give us answers, and we need answers to this type of incident that has taken place on the 12th of November, Sunday, in a peaceful Palestine solidarity protesters at the Sea Point Promenade.
All right, we'll get the necessary answers, inshallah, in your favor, as you believe, as we all believe, that this was an abuse of power. Obviously, what would the next step be? And I know that we're going ahead of ourselves, but I'm sure you've given this deep thought as to what would the next steps be, because this is definitely exploiting resources at your behest, because you think you are the ruling party in the Western Cape.
We've been clear. Our administration part of it is engaged with our legal team, and by this evening, our legal team also is going to sit to see yes, what are the legal necessary steps that we have to take. We have a board of attorneys and other legal professions that are working closely on this matter and giving us advice on this matter. And yes, by the end of today, we'll have a next step forward as to how we want to go approach this. And yes, if it means us going to the court to approach orders regarding this in terms of us getting answers, then we are going to exercise our right, or we'll try to mobilize people in the Cape Town area, more than 250,000, and we can march through those places that needs to give us an answer, and we will demand this answer. So we're saying yes, we are able to take the streets, and we are able to make sure that we want our answers in legal ways, in professional ways, and whichever ways that we need to do in terms of protesting, in terms of us asking for our answers. We want to get these answers, and we would do this, yes, as I said, we will be in accordance to the law, and we'll make sure that we'll get our answers.
It's very refreshing to see political parties being so proactive regarding the exploitation of resources in areas that is not necessarily needed, but just these people or leaders of these political parties thinking that everybody should be jumping at their behest. So yes, that is refreshing. It hopefully gives us, the confidence that there are still some parties that are reliable, who have integrity, and who have the people's voices and the people's, matters at heart. So, very encouraging indeed. I'm not going to let you go without you sharing your thoughts on the genocide in Palestine. And I haven't yet come across, I might have missed it, but as far as KZN is concerned, I haven't seen any marches or protest action in support of Palestine. Have I missed it, or is it still going to be happening sometime soon?
No, no. There's a lot of KZN has a lot of action that's going on. We had a motorcade in Chatsworth 2 weeks ago. On Saturday, they had a mass prayer and zikr at the North Beach and other areas such as Phoenix, Chatsworth. I know it's Morningside. Lots of areas throughout KZN. There's a war room being set up. There's lots of other Palestinian organizations all coming together with NGOs, NPOs, which we are part of those. I know there's action towards the boycott of certain stores that are being planned. There's a lot of things that are going on in the larger part of KwaZulu Natal, and I think also on the 17th, the speaker that you had mentioned, Mr. Gilbert, is also being hosted here in the NMJ Hall in Durban, and there are other programs that are taking place in all over the KZN, and there are peaceful protesters that are going out and standing in their numbers. And what's fortunate in Durban, like the other places, people are working with peace and harmony, and they're working together, and we're networking. And I think the idea is not to fight amongst us, but to fight against the oppressors and fight against those people that are obviously oppressed, and see how we could help them to come out from this year. So this is something, yes, in KZN, and we are asking all the mosque and all religious centers everywhere to please pray and let this genocide stop. And this is a one-sided war, because if you look at it, it's only Israel that is attacking. It's a one-sided war. The media, unfortunately, doesn't bring the truth. The media brings Palestine as a terror place, as terrorists, and the people that are killers. Let's not remember, media should give out the right. It's like social media and platforms like this bring out the true side of Palestine, and bring out the right side of Palestine as to what is happening in Palestine. Yeah, yes. So there are many events also taking place in KZN, also like other places in Johannesburg and Cape Town that are happening there. And we're saying, yes, remember, it always reminds me of the freedom of Palestine and the relationship between South Africa. And if you remember, the former icon Nelson Mandela said that South Africa will only be free when Palestine is free. And this is something that we need to keep with us and say, yes, let's follow this legacy, and let's see how we can help the brothers and sisters and those innocent children in Palestine to be free and stop this genocide that is taking place there. Stop this ambushing that is taking place there. Stop these things that are taking place there, and say, yes, let's all of us, we ask all our listeners and viewers to pray today that may Allah make it easy for the people of Palestine. Allahumma mansuril mujahideen fi Palestine. Allah make it easy for the people of Palestine. And one day Palestine will be free, and Palestine will need each and every one of your du'as and support from throughout the world, that we cannot be silent, but we need to open and break that silence for the people of Palestine.
Absolutely. And lest the world has forgotten this, I say it again and again and again, and I will not stop saying it. This is not a Muslim Zionist situation. This is Palestinian people fighting for their independence, or for being restored back into their ancestral lands, and also for all of those Palestinians over the many wars that have taken place by the Zionists on the Palestinian people. They're not able to return back into Palestine. It looks as if this is the current intention as well, forcing the Palestinians to to go out into the Sinai Desert. Israel has promised them a tent city as a temporary measure, and promised to resettle them in Egypt and the Jordan. And that is not an option as far as the Palestinian people are concerned. They want to be settled in their own land. That is their homeland. And this is what this story, and this is what the narrative is all about. And it seems as if certain countries, the Western world perhaps, the narrative is being skewed and portrayed as a Muslim versus Zionist situation. It is not. It's the Palestinian people against the infiltration, against being dispossessed of their lands and being totally displaced. It's about genocide and it's about ethnic cleansing. And the world needs to understand that. And we, as responsible citizens here in South Africa, need to make that very loud and clear to the rest of the world, inshallah. Councillor Moulana Mohamed Tariq, any closing comments or remarks from you before I let you go?
I think that we want to say that yes, we need to be positive and we need to stand up for the people of Palestine and we need to make sure that yes, our voice is heard. And we are not, when the People's Freedom Party will demand these answers, that yes, our concern is heightened by the belief that the Democratic Alliance, with strong arm tactics, may be motivated by its alliance with the state of Israel in hindering citizens from expressing their solidarity with the people of Palestine. And this is what we believe, and this is what we want to make sure. And we want to make the people aware of, yes, this incident that took place in Cape Town, it's something that we are not going to accept, and we want answers for this year. So we ask our listeners, yes, to continue with showing your support for the people of Palestine, and let's may God Almighty make it easy for each and every one of us. Let us, as religious leaders from all different faiths, come together for the people of Palestine, because no matter what religion you are, it doesn't give you the right to just kill you. It doesn't give you the right to bomb those places where you are getting help and medical care from. It does not give you the right of this.
And when you see the scale of inhumanity being played out as far as the genocide is concerned, you can't believe that one group of human beings is perpetrating such horrors, unimaginable horrors, on another set of human beings. And is it because the Palestinians are brown people and the Israelis are white people? Does that make them superior? No, good people, we are in the 21st century and we need to rethink the status quo. Before I let you go, Councillor, I just want to respond to something Caroline Smith has posted. Let me read it out to you and then I will respond to her. Maybe you want to respond to her. She says, Israel does not fight. I think what she's trying to say is they did not start the fight, but helping the Palestinian people. Israel did not start the war. Caroline, I don't know which universe you're living in. All I can say to you, Caroline, before I let Councillor Tariq respond, is please go back and read up the history on the Levant and Palestine. I think you will change your mind in a very short space of time. Do you have any response to
Yes.
the person that has posted?
I think what's important about this is history and education and awareness. And we must understand that, as I said, that this is a one-sided war. If you understand the term that I used, one-sided war, it tells you why it's a one-sided war. Why is this a one-sided war? Who's the people continuously that? So at the end of the day, we need to say, yes, let's get education about this. Let's be aware about this here. Palestinian people by the media is portrayed to be terror. It portrays that they are the people doing the bombing. They are the people that actually are terrorist people. They are murderers. They are killers. The media obviously has a responsibility to say the truth. But unfortunately, the media is not doing such. And you would find people that have lesser history about the Palestinian and the Israeli issues should go up and look at what are these histories and say, yes, then you would change your views to this and say, no, it wasn't the Palestinian people who started this first, but who was it? It was Israel. And the history of this needs to be taken into consideration and see how we can most go deep up in those history that is rich in this and see, and we'll get a clear understanding of this. And I'm sure the person that passed the question on this year will change their mind, because obviously knowing the facts about why this war has begun.
Absolutely. I would point the person, go back to the year 1948 and read up on the Balfour Accord. That will give you some insight into the situation. Councillor Moulana Mohamed Tariq, thank you indeed for your thoughts and your time. And we probably will catch up with you in the weeks to come to hear what has transpired regarding your call on Police Minister Becky and this investigation. Keep us in your du'as, keep the people of Palestine and all oppressed people all around the world in your du'as. Thank you indeed. Salaam alaikum to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to Sister Julia Ali and the listeners of Salam Media. And please, every Salah, remember the people of Palestine, and wherever oppression is taking place, Allah make it easy and free us from this oppression. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
8:40 a.m. News and Views on Salam Media. Standing by to talk with us now is Ali Bamji. He's the lead designer at Idle Mind. We'll talk with him in a minute or two. We need to take our ads first, of course.